Once he had switched and his eyes had gone white and he said those famous words, "You will not like me when I'm angry." Famous words of Hulk, and then he would actually change green and smash. He wasn't able to control how he actually felt. So the idea being forged. Hello and welcome, my name is Desiree Shaw and I'm a psychotherapist and I practice at the Priory and privately. Welcome to the Tortured Superhero series. I have been talking about Spider-Man and his depression and his anxiety. Now I'm going to embark on the Incredible Hulk. When you hear the name Incredible Hulk, do you automatically think he has a mental health issue going on? Well, I'm going to tell you that he actually did. In fact, the Incredible Hulk had several things happening for him. In my view, he has a DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder, known as a personality disorder, often categorized as schizophrenia. So the Incredible Hulk also has anger. It's his deep-rooted anger deep within him, which comes out, which he cannot control based on how he is triggered and what he believes about the trigger. So let's talk about the Incredible Hulk, his anger. We think of him being angry, we think of him greed, we think of him smashing, we think of him completely out of control, because he is out of control. He cannot contain his anger. So the whole point of the Tortured Superhero series is to identify the stresses that the superheroes go through and also to link them to the stresses that men go through. I have a keen interest in men's mental health. I am at the moment building a platform, and you could call it a movement, called MAMA, Men and Mental Health, one word, Awareness. The idea is to create and adapt a nurturing, supportive and understanding approach towards men and their mental health, because men aren't actually given a platform to speak about how they feel. And there's so many different things which hinder a man from expressing his emotions. Hence, I'm talking about the Incredible Hulk, who had no way of expressing his anger, which is why he goes from 0 to 60 in nanoseconds. So David Banner. So you got David Bruce Banner. Some of you who will remember the TV series. Do you remember the TV series? With the Incredible Hulk, he was called David Bruce Banner then, and then we had the cartoon, the comic, where he was called Bruce Banner. Very much the same character. The only difference was David Bruce Banner was a little bit more gentler when he was not the Hulk. So the Hulk, Marvel comic, his whole purpose was based on the fact that he didn't know how to release and deal with his frustration. He was a super duper amazing scientist, and due to his scientific academic achievements, he was able to do some amazing stuff. So we know what happened with him and the gamma rays and so forth, and then he ended up turning green when he got super angry. So why green? Well, it was a way of him standing out, so we knew that he was angry at this stage, as opposed to red, where he probably would appear to be like the devil. But he definitely wasn't the devil, but he was an abominable creation, as they called him, because he was a force of nature and he could not be reckoned with. There was no reckoning with the Hulk. Once he had switched and his eyes had gone white and he said those famous words, "You will not like me when I'm angry." Famous words of Hulk, and then he would actually change green and smash. He wasn't able to control how he actually felt. So the idea being forged here for the Incredible Hulk is that he had a deep-rooted rage within him. Now, when we have a rage within us, it's often because we have unresolved issues. And the rage comes out because we feel threatened. So anger is about a threat to your self-esteem. It's about feeling frustration. It's about loss of control. It's about rule breaking, either you breaking your own personal rules or somebody else breaking your rule. And if you notice, throughout Bruce Banner, whenever he had an altercation which demonstrated unfairness, he would state, "You will not like me when I'm angry." This is quite passive aggressive because you don't actually get a chance to calm down from that. And that is a problem with anger. So how am I linking this to men? Well, some men do have unresolved issues. And sometimes that rage is so deep within, they don't know how else to express it but with anger. Now, the problem here is anger is noted as being a really bad thing, which is why the Hulk is seen as being dangerous, out of control, and he must be stopped. So you don't necessarily see in all the other Marvel comics that the superhero must be stopped. What we often see is they get away or they hide in their lair and everyone's all right once they help them, and if something happens then they might be after them or not. But the Hulk, the consensus is he must be stopped because he is filled with so much rage. And his rage is so destructive. And that's because he's coming from a childhood where his father was an abusive alcoholic. And he was bullied and he was pushed around. So you see this timid scientist, as David Bruce Banner in the TV series, wandering around from town to town, trying to fit in. He's seeking acceptance, he's seeking approval, he's trying his best not to be rejected. These are all the things that we're all seeking as human beings. Now, each time and wherever he goes, he cannot escape his anger. And because he cannot escape his anger, he's constantly on edge with himself and the world. And he cannot deal with life. So he has to move on. And each time he moves on, he goes to another town, he tries something else. His anxiety is heightened at all times because he doesn't know when or if the Hulk is going to be triggered and if he's going to be found out. He's also chased, he's followed, and he's got this investigator who won't stop probing and following him. And at the same time, he's dealing with his very own monkey on his back. Instead of it being crack cocaine, alcohol, women, it's his anger. For so many people, anger is a problem. And it does seem to be a very dangerous problem for men. Because men are seen as the stronger sex. They're broader, they're stronger, they're bigger. So when a man becomes angry, it's often bigger. I have seen so many situations where I worked with young men where their anger was so out of control, they can't see, they can't hear while they're in the middle of their anger. And it's not until after they come out of their anger comes the sadness and the depression and the guilt and the shame. And this happens to the Hulk. And we see it time after time. After he changes, he goes back to being Banner. I'll call him Banner as opposed to Bruce or David. Once he gets himself back to being a human being, he's so embarrassed by what has happened. And then he can't let it go. He can't forgive himself. And he has to disappear. So the Hulk is constantly disappearing. In fact, in the TV series, there was a few occasions where he actually tried to take his own life because he actually believed that was the only thing that could help him. He actually saw the only way out for him and the world was that he actually commit suicide. And each time he's saved from doing so. But this goes back to the point of men's mental health. Men make up 76% of suicides in the UK. And across the world, the percentage is even higher. Different countries, even higher. Why is this so? Because there are so many pushed down emotions. So, join me on the understanding of the Hulk and to find out which Hulk you are. Have you got a Hulk inside of you? Are you secretly raging and worried about what that's going to look like when it comes out? Or does your Hulk come out and you just can't stop it? Do you have the white eyes? Or that's the metaphor. Because what happens is often when people get angry, there's a sudden change in the face. They don't look like themselves anymore. They look different. They appear way more scary than we would like them to. And there's a massive change. Our skin even changes. The colour of our face even changes. We can't hear and we can't feel when we get to that point of unhealthy anger. Notice I've said unhealthy, because we're going to talk about the difference between healthy anger and unhealthy anger. So welcome to the tortured superhero, the Incredible Hulk. My name is Desiree Shaw. Thank you so much for watching. Now, if you do have anger issues, what I would urge you to do is go to my website, and I'll put the details in the description box below, and visit the questionnaires page. And there's a section for anger. Go through the anger questionnaire and tick off the questions and find out if you have deep-seated anger that you're not dealing with, or if you have anger which is actually causing you a problem in your life. And if it is, you can contact me. You can join my mailing list. If you want to have a conversation, we can do that. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Desiree Shaw, and I'm on a mission to make therapy accessible and change the world one thought at a time. Welcome to the Hulk. Bye for now. You see, I'm going to be like, I've got my own cameraman, and it's important that he comes along. They'll be like, oh no, but Mrs. Shaw, we've got policies. No, we must have Andrew, because otherwise, who else is going to bring 50,000 cameras on set? Who is going to do that?
That is actually a fantastic question.
Who else? Who else is going to do that? It's got to be. It has to be.
There is another one as well.
Oh my God! There's another camera. You're amazing. Do you know that? You're amazing.